to episode 23 of the Day of Resto Podcast, the show about games, movies, tech, and whatever else the Resto community is into these days. This week we're talking about the most recent Destiny news. Yes, there is even more of it. Get ready for some spoilers, people, again. And of course, after everything else is gone, this is what remains. Hey everyone, my name is Mike, aka the Signal 42. Joining me today are Stan, aka Mask of Skin.
Hey everybody.
Corey, aka Captain Breakin' Wind.
Hey, hey, hey.
And of course, Winston, the real star. Everyone else is out preaching the word of Ralph the Chicken. So good luck to them. And before we begin going into too much, I just want to say, my wife says, Stan, stop silencing Winston's voice. He has something to say.
He does. He is very vocal and expressive and just loves everybody and wants you to know it. So
He just wants peace.
yeah.
Okay. So what have you guys been playing this past week?
Well, I'm still continuing my re-emergence into VR.
Okay.
Playing Super Hot VR still, liking it. Steam VR's had a lot of updates lately, so I've been digging around with that. They updated Destinations, which is kind of a volumetric imagery tourism app. And they've added like missions and things like that where you can actually go geocaching in these things. And so you load it up and walk around, and they have a little sensor, basically, or metal detector kind of type thing, and you find these geocaches, and they unlock Steam hats and little things for your avatar, which I thought was pretty cool. I went to one of the ones they had that was really impressive was the Steam headquarters. So you can actually walk through their lobby and see all their awards and all their magazine covers, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
It actually does sound cool.
Yeah, so if you guys are still waiting to get on the VR train, check that out. Played Walking Dead Season 2. I was feeling really happy and just wanted to bring that down, so I figured I'd start Season 2 of Walking Dead. And
I have far too much joy in my lifetime to just wash that out.
So far, so good. It's... it picks off where Season 1 left off. If you've played that, you kind of know what happens there, and it's a Walking Dead game, so yeah, prepare yourself. Get your Kleenexes out.
Right.
That's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Corey, what about you?
I've been playing the usual, Rocket League. Play a little bit of Overwatch, a little bit of Division. Still been hitting up that EA Access Pass, so mostly FIFA on that one. And then I've been getting my fair share of mobile gaming in with Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes, of course.
So surprised.
And Risk, and bringing back Trivia Crack.
Yeah, Risk, that was a little bit of a surprise to me there. Didn't realize they had a mobile version. Is this pay to win Risk, or?
No, it's pretty simple. Same concept. It gives you the alternate boards. There's one that I unlocked for Pangea, so that's kind of fun.
It sounds like it. So much happiness in your voice. That was fun.
I don't know about you, but if I'm doing a Risk on mobile devices, it's like going to be Tinder.
Ooh, that's you know what? I'm gonna have to look into that as a place and a way to go with that game.
Nice. And I see in our notes you got your wife caught up on Star Wars.
Oh yeah. So she bought me Rogue One, and she wanted to rewatch the preceding movies. I thought about trying to get her caught up and have her watch Clone Wars and Rebels too, but yeah, that'd be like a 3-month commitment, and
Yeah, it's like
then
all
she
in due
would get
time,
Rogue
just-
One. So, it's a work in progress, but yeah. So we got through Revenge of the Sith. I taught her a little bit about the lore, omitting, of course, the midichlorians. So yeah, and we'll be watching Rogue One here for the first time for her fairly shortly.
Not
Nice.
to step on your toes here, but my girlfriend and I actually just did this. We finished up Rogue One a couple days ago and the prequels last week.
Yeah.
And yeah, after getting through the prequels, she was not going to watch any Clone Wars, any Rebels, and it was a stretch to get her to watch Rogue One. I had to promise up and down it was better than the prequels.
Well, yeah, it's better than the prequels.
I mean,
Personally, I'm still not impressed by Rogue One.
So I'm in a
but-
minority in terms of the prequels. Now, I'm not saying they're good, but I understand the direction that George Lucas was trying to go with them, especially with like Jar Jar Binks trying to get in those kids.
Yeah.
But also, I really actually liked Revenge of the Sith, and I think it's better than Rogue One. I really did not like Rogue One, though. So I put Rogue One at like 58%.
Yeah.
Whereas Revenge of the Sith is like a 65.
I think you're just taking out your anger on Baze and Chirrut on the movie from the mobile game. If y'all don't know, for whatever reason, Baze and Chirrut are the most powerful characters in the game, and they will destroy Darth Vader, they will destroy Emperor Palpatine, they will destroy Qui-Gon Jinn. Anybody you can throw at them, they will just demolish, and it can be pretty demoralizing.
Balance, Star Wars. Come on.
Yeah.
I think mostly my opinion is heightened of Revenge of the Sith because of the soundtrack. Because that soundtrack for Revenge of the Sith was amazing.
It is pretty good. And I will say, I'm kind of I don't think the movies are good as far as the prequels go, but I appreciate the universe and the story at that time. And Clone Wars actually really made me appreciate it a lot more.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just as a standalone movie, they still not very good.
Yeah, I just choose to forget them.
No, you choose to forget about the Chewbacca Christmas special and the Ewok Celebration movie.
I don't even acknowledge that what you said was words. So
Perfect.
There. I played Batman Arkham more. It's fun. I like being Ninja Batman. So because it was like on sale, it was like you get all the DLC with it. Immediately changed Batman to Batman Beyond skin. So like that black and red futuristic look.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
Oh, it's awesome. So yeah, that's been a great amount of fun. Also played Marvel Omega, the Marvel WoW. That was a lot of. I don't know if it's entertaining. It's a time passer, I guess, really more. But it has moments of being fun. It seems a little too easy right now. Like, I need to up the difficulty or something. And then I've been struggling with the fact of maybe going back to Destiny a little bit.
Are you having an identity crisis or something?
I just kind of miss Destiny. So there.
Dude, you'll get your Destiny fixed next week. You couldn't hold out
I
that much
know,
longer?
but it's, what about in between then? And there's moments of being like, oh, I really miss Destiny. And then I watch some of like my friends that play a lot of PvP, and it's like, I don't know if I miss it as much. I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll see after the beta next week how I am. It's going to be one of two extremes, either I'm gonna really want to play a lot more Destiny until D2 comes out, or I'm gonna be like, I can't play this garbage. I need D2 to come out.
I'm gonna go with the latter.
I think they're just going to put such a hard stop with nothing carrying over and all the events cutting off at August 1st.
Yeah.
That I'm going to give myself a break just to play some other things, kind of cleanse the palate, get caught up before just the next 1,000 hours of Destiny 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you're right, but you never know. It's possible. I guess in the news, did either of you guys get anything from like the Amazon sales?
Yes.
No, I'll go ahead. Your story's
yes,
more interesting
everything.
Spent a decent amount of money. Got a new golf club and new cover for my wife's back seat of her car and stuff like that.
Oh, why did you have to get one of them?
For our dog.
That's not near as cool of a story.
Yeah, that's way anticlimactic.
Literally.
and then, oh.
It's for a dog. But yeah, I had a surprise. So I ordered the new headset that I'm using. After the previous one is not working. It works fine with the Xbox, but doesn't work on computer. So I went in and bought one of the ones that is Prime Day deal, and lo and behold, surprise to me, I had a pair of shoes in the cart, so that was fun.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I looked at getting some bigger hard drives in preparation for the new Xbox, but then I remembered, in 3 months' time, the memory will double for half the price, so it'd be better to wait.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of stuff for sale for gaming on the Xbox. Like I saw a lot of PS4 stuff. There was a lot of headsets. Obviously, I ordered one. But in terms of gaming, and actually movies as well, there really wasn't a large selection. I was actually a little disappointed with it.
Yeah, I think I watched the stupid videos 1,000 times for those daily giveaways.
Yeah.
Didn't win
I never
anything.
did any of that.
Yeah.
They did have a really good Xbox One S sale, but I don't know how many people actually went and picked it up, because why not just wait till the X? But I think it was like the One S, 2 controllers, and like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I did see that.
For like $250, $300.
Yeah, it was $299 for all that.
I mean, great sale, but just wait, save your money, and buy a X.
Man, now one crazy sale I did see, and it wasn't necessarily an Amazon Prime Day sale, but Oculus Rift was doing a summer sale and cut their price down for the touch bundle with the headset to $400, and I think Amazon was offering $100 on top of that, so it was like $300 for the entire combo, which is insane.
That's crazy.
If I didn't already have a headset, I would have jumped all over that. I know a couple of people on my Facebook bought it.
If I guess if I had known about it sooner, I would have thought about it. But I mean, I don't even have a rig who could do VR, so.
And that's still VR's problem, and it's such a huge barrier to entry. But I mean, for those getting ready to go, it is getting cheaper, and I would think that we're almost at the spot where we're going to start seeing new revisions. Probably in another year or so. I think the computer market is probably what's holding it back right now. They could have a higher definition screen, but the hardware is still not out there to run it without, super insane video cards.
Right, but I mean, I guess personally, I would expect price drops to start happening again soon, because Intel just released a whole new family of processors.
Right.
And I imagine we're going to get a whole new couple families of graphics cards out here in the next year. They seem to follow suit usually. So I think the entry point might get a little bit cheaper, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I mean, all technology like this does.
Yeah. I mean, you can just go out grab your i9 now and
Right.
$1,000 chip.
Seriously.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, but if I remember correctly, it's like $1,000 for the i9s.
I'm gonna buy the new,
then the new
graphics
i7s
card and an i9. Oh look, I just spent $2,200 on 2 pieces of hardware.
Right. I have nothing else. Well, I guess speaking of the Xbox One X, the next Xbox is already in development. Which also the PS5 is in development as well. So I imagine those are going to come around the same time, 2019 area, because I'm sure once the 5 was announced, Microsoft was like, screw this noise, we're not going to be left behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it depends on how the Xbox X does. If they're going to continue with the iterations, I would assume this thing is going to just be, Xbox One Extra or whatever they're going to call it. Just whatever the next iteration is.
I seriously hope it's the Xbox One Extra. That'll be a whole new level of greatness if that happens.
And it's just a picture of Stan on the front of it with 2 thumbs up.
Right. And the official trademark has a question mark at the end of the title. Extra?
Xbox One X?
Maybe?
Expect greatness?
Yeah, expect something.
Right. I fully expect them to do new consoles like every 2 years now.
Well,
roughly.
That was the interesting thing, because didn't Microsoft release a statement like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that, where they said this is going to be their last console, was the Project Scorpio, which is the X?
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah,
and I didn't understand how that was possible. Like, were they gonna release parts for the One X to upgrade it, and then
well, that's
how do
what
you
I was
handle
kind of
that?
thinking.
So I'm not totally sure what this is all about, but I mean, this is like no info. Like, we're developing the next Xbox. I don't know what that means. Okay.
It's a drawing in crayon.
Yeah. Right. We'll see what happens. Also, I guess we'll see what happens with PS5 when they supposedly will launch in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, these things are so complicated and so involved that you have to start this far out. You can't just be, hey, let's release a console next year. Hey, go to Walmart, get some parts. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. It's just with the way technology is, they can make small upgrades as far as hardware and everything like that. Granted, in a few years they'll probably be able to make a decent jump. But how much further can they really go with the way these games look, except to the point of VR? I mean, some of these games are pretty realistic as they are.
Oh, they can always get better. Better lighting, better AI, better physics, better resolution and frame rate. I mean, people have said that since the SNES. Like, I remember Mario World came out. People were like, "Yep, this is it. Games will never look better than this right here." He's got a cape and everything. And
true that they did say that, but with the way games look nowadays, it seems the improvements aren't as drastic. There are improvements, yes, but we haven't seen a leap in a little while.
Yeah.
So, next up, for all you people looking for disappointment, Mass Effect Andromeda as a free trial. So go try that.
Yeah, well, if you still got that EA Access subscription in a couple of months, just play it there.
Yeah, it'll come for free. I mean, Battlefield 1 is going to be jumping in there, and I'll I'll download that and do the campaign and then delete it again.
Yeah. And of course, and like I said, it could be Stockholm syndrome, but I'm pulling for Mass Effect Andromeda. It starts rough, and it's rough around the edges, and it's not a perfect game, but it's got some good stuff in there, and I would have liked.
You sure that isn't fanboy talking though? Like, because I know a lot of us loved the Mass Effect 1 through 3.
No, I think more of it's invested time. Like
Okay.
I slogged it out for however long it took to beat that game, and
I invested time in this. I'm not quitting on you.
exactly. It was all not. Was it for not?
Xbox One Extra?
Will you play Amazon or Andromeda?
No.
Okay, and I guess a totally different type of hype besides D2, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Around the
Hype.
corner.
Yeah, can't
Hype.
wait. This is my annual. Let me subscribe to HBO Go, get my free month, and pay for one more month, and then cancel it again.
Yeah. Or you can be like other people and just steal your friend's Xfinity information, and they
Right.
happen to have HBO subscribed.
Well, I used to do that, but then it was my grandma's actually, and then she canceled HBO because there were too many boobies on it, and it offended her sensibilities.
The boobies
You say,
are
Grandma, how am I
offensive."
supposed to see my boobies?
Yeah.
Just Google it, son.
And sorry to all underage people listening to this. Or your mom who's now listening to this and angry at that.
You
Extra?
shouldn't. Yeah, well, you shouldn't be letting your kid play Destiny. It's M-rated, so
Right.
you parents out there, you need to look at what you're doing with your life.
It's your own fault.
That's right.
Damn it.
You're asking
Yeah,
for it.
your kid's sitting there like, "Mom, my cell phone. I need a newer one. Need the Galaxy S8."
That's what those kids say. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, my Galaxy S7 is so slow. I need the S8. All the kids at school got one.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Also,
Nice.
I need this new Xbox. I know I'm only 13, but can you buy me a car?
Wow, you guys are spot on. I mean,
Yeah.
for a second, I thought I was co-hosting with 13-year-olds. All right. Jumping into the Destiny news. There's been a bunch of IGN videos for this sneak peek stuff going on. We had quite a few of them. I don't even know if I got through them all because I didn't have a chance to watch them as they came out for the last few of them. So I kind of tried to scour and see. We'll find out, I guess. I'm going to skip ahead of myself in my own notes here. The PvP map videos, if you're expecting me to talk about them, it's a PvP map. It takes place in a place you kill people. I don't know what you want from me.
Do the shoe
People.
sting.
I mean, I'm not going to give you a step-by-step. Like, there's snow over by B-Flag, and I know we got... One of the maps is the Rise of Iron Social Space, which is awesome. It's cool. But then some people were really upset about it, which didn't make sense to me.
I've read some of the comments, and I think most people just didn't think it looked well. It looked just too recycled, and it's hard to tell how it's gonna play on the game modes with 4v4. It seemed kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, all these maps are going to be developed 4v4. I don't know, claustrophobic, maybe. Recycled, I in this case have a problem with. You can't have a cohesive universe, we'll say, without having some stuff technically recycled. Granted, it's not like we're going back in there for a social space. It's just Crucible, training, that case. And it's not even the main part of the social space that we use. It was like, it's the Iron Banner side, and we get to go into some extra stuff down below, and some extra stuff further back. Like there's a big, huge tower you can snipe from. I don't have a problem with semi-recycled stuff, as long as it's not like, you know, missions and strikes and things like that. Like I had a problem in D1 where they would just, oh, it's a new mission in this strike. Like that was kind of like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
A PvP map, nah, no big deal.
Yeah, it don't bother me that much. It's been around in first-person shooters forever. They're gonna reuse assets. These things are so expensive to make. It takes so much art, so much effort to put all this stuff together that it's dumb not to reuse stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm out of line, but it seems kind of like a little entitled, like, for some of the complaints. Like, how dare you use a little bit of art that you've used before?
Yeah, and
I'm angry.
Do we have a final map count on what's going to be released yet?
Not released as final game, but for the beta, it's 2 maps.
Right. I mean, if the game comes out and there's 4 maps and 2 of them are recycled, okay, yeah, now let's complain. But man, wait and see what we get. If we got 20 maps and one of them's a recycled, okay, right. Cool.
I'm gonna expect 10 to 12. That's my expectation.
Yeah.
20 seems large. Maybe it happens. I don't know. I doubt it though. I'm gonna guess my bet would be 10 to 12. They did say, which kind of going into the PvP aspect, they did say that there is gonna be a breakdown of, I guess PvP lists or not modes. No, that's the word I'm looking for. Sections. We'll say there is going to be the quick play, which will be control and things of that nature. And then there is going to be they didn't call it ranked, but competitive, not, I guess, maybe competitive, I think this is the word they used, but that nature. So maybe elimination or trials will end up in there, and countdown will be in there, things like that. So a little more sweaty. They're going to have different matchmaking in each list, stuff like that. And they've kind of hinted that they're going to have ranked play somewhere. They didn't come out and say it, but they've been teasing that. I don't know how. I don't think it's going to come out right away. I think we're looking at like 2 months down the road maybe, because it wouldn't even make sense to be on launch. No one has enough gear to be anything right away.
Well, and they also were talking about how they're going to have that steady stream of content, and I think that's definitely a possibility that ranked would be part of that stream of content.
Would be a content drop, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, and hell, right away we got game launch September, right? And then December, I believe, is DLC number 1, the Osiris DLC. So it's not like there's a lot of time in between. It's, following kind of like the D1 timeline right there. I don't remember if they put when the expected drop for the... I wanted to say Rasputin, but it's not Rasputin. The Warmind DLC. Charlemagne, I think, is maybe the one that's going to be in that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, give us 2 or 3 months with each DLC. Even 4 months, kind of stretch it out just to get every little nugget out of it. I'm more interested to see how they handle the live events. How they're going to do winter holiday festivals and the things like that, and those milestones they had mentioned, and the community missions. That's the stuff I want to dig into, see how that works.
Yeah, it should be. I think they're going to be able to do more with it. I'm hoping. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I want to see, like, during the winter, like the winter celebration, whatever, we get freaking stuff all through the forest, or whatever. Maybe not, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. And another thing too with the playlist and all that. Remember, they're targeting this thing to the new player too. They're trying to bring in the casuals to Destiny. So having a whole bunch of different game types and all that may turn off the newer players, confuse them.
I think. Sorry to interrupt, but I think they're not gonna have a lot of game types. I mean,
yeah,
6, I think, is a good guess for how many game types they'll have. But I think it'll be, like I said, it'll be split quick play and competitive. So, a la Overwatch.
Yeah. And plus new game modes gives them more to pack in with the expansions as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not going to throw everything in right away. It just doesn't happen anymore. If you really honestly believe that is going to happen on any game nowadays, you just haven't been paying attention for the past 10 years. But let's go into the videos of some of the other stuff they had. You guys get a chance to watch some of those?
Yeah, a little bit of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a favorite video of the PvP releases? Because they were all PvP, as far as I saw. Unless I missed one, which is entirely possible.
Nothing really in particular. I just, I'm ready for more Destiny. I like the look of it. I like the new, just the little tiny differences, like the way the health bar looks different, the way the points look different, the as far as the class interplay goes, that looks fun. One thing I really liked is the call-outs of the locations. I think that's going to be real helpful as far as talking strategy and learning the maps.
Yeah, 100%. And you won't have the community after a while kind of decided on what it had for callouts in PvP back in D1, but you still had every once in a while people didn't know exactly the callouts, so they'd make up their own and you get confused. And
right.
I think it'll help a little more cohesiveness going on.
Yeah, especially for those of us that are getting carried to the whatever the lighthouse is in Destiny 2. And you start playing with these pros, and they're telling you to go to jukebox, go to whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna throw a grenade and try spinning because that's a good move.
Right, I'm gonna shoot in the air. Did that help?
Yeah.
But think about this: 4v4. That may mean a little bit easier. Like you could do a single carry with 3 slayers. May help things out, but PvP is going to get more difficult with the new mechanics. Because I don't know if anyone missed it or not, but in PvP, I'm not sure about in quick play. I'm going to guess 100% in competitive, but that you will have a res token of, we're going to call it. But basically you can res one person per round. You're not going to be able to just keep reviving people over and over and over. So you kind of make smart decisions with who you're going to revive and things like that. And if you're going to run in to try and get someone, and then they're going to get, farmed right away and killed. Throw some more strategy into the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
So, well, let's just start off with Dawnblade. I had some notes on what I saw with that, but it wasn't a lot because, there was a lot of gunplay, so it was like, he shot at stuff. He killed things. It was cool. But to me, the jump in there seemed a little less floofy. It wasn't like Titan-esque or anything, it wasn't like flying. But it didn't seem as bad it was in D1 where you're just kind of sit and duck in the air.
Yeah. The biggest thing with that, I'm gonna get killed so much by stupid Dawn blades floating up there because you don't look up most of the time when you're PvP, and it's really gonna bring I love this word, verticality to the gameplay.
Ooh.
Just having to deal with that.
Yeah, I guess a side note. the unique perks that each class has that they share across their um, subclasses is pretty cool idea. Now with the warlocks, they have the rifts, right? They have the healing rift and the damage rift. Okay. Um, I imagine healing rift is going to be pretty popular in PvP. Damage rift, I'm guessing, pretty popular in raids. But and then you got the titans, and they have that like that wall, or you call it a shield, but it wasn't, not necessarily, but a little mini wall they put up, block areas off, things like that. And then the hunters have basically shade step across every class, and you can decide, like, it has different things it does for each subclass. I believe, like, you can, or I shouldn't say each subclass. I think it's just two different perks, like reload the gun or something else. Reload melee, I think, or melee charge. Not sure about the two different perks for Titans. I'm guessing I think that's probably the stationary wall and the movable one. But adding some mechanics and strategy to everything. It's real chess pieces going on now.
Right, and I like there's a little more give and take on the paths of the subclass. It's not this is the best setup. You use this, and you're never going to change from it. This
right. People were complaining a lot about the not having all the options we did in D1, but I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Who changed their subclass after they found that desired setup?
right.
I mean, I don't think I changed my Warlock subclass for like 6 months.
I don't know, Voidwalker for me, I changed Voidwalker quite often just for the lance, or you get the 3 bombs, or
The shatter.
Yeah, and like if there was a void burn, I would
Yeah.
put it on like bloom and huge explosions, and then there was a vortex and it just ate away at them, stuff like that. But I would change it back for when that was gone, stuff like that. I mean, I played
Small tweaks.
Yeah, Voidwalker was really the only one I played around with. The
Yeah.
Sith sticky fingers was pretty much standard. And res was, it just depended on whether I was going for an actual res or if I wanted to throw 13 grenades in my super.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna add any more of these, because they had a different title for each class, right? I'm trying to remember what they were. I know for hunters, like Way of the Warrior and Way of the something else. Yeah, well, they had titles for different ones. I don't know if they're gonna have more than just 2, like they've been kind of showing. And they're grouped to set up as a certain play style for each little cluster of 4 that they have. I don't know if they're gonna have a third, or DLCs. We're gonna get new ones or what, but it seems, I guess, pretty word I'm looking for, relatable to the way you used to play in D1. It's just you don't see as many options, but you have your 2 setups. They have enough differences, and they seem to have their situations. So I think once people get into it, they're not going to be as upset as they want to feel like. So.
Well, I think the cynical view is Bungie just making it easier on themselves to balance or nerf things depending on your point of view.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always that haterade going around. Speaking of balancing, though, if anyone hasn't heard, which I'm sure it's been around a lot, so I'm assuming you have, each gun will be able to be balanced in Destiny independently. they won't have to do sweeping nerfs or buffs on classes of guns like a pulse rifle or auto rifle. If one certain auto rifle is just slaying a little too much and it's not right, they can hit just that one. And I believe that's going along with them doing a new build now because of 360 and PS3 gone, and they're moving on to a new stuff. So I think it sets us up in a good place for not having nerfs apply too much to PvE and PvP. I think they said that's independent as well a little bit.
Yeah. So. I don't know. That never really bothered me that much. I'm not the one or the type of person that just got married to a gun. Like, okay, well, I got this good roll pulse rifle. I'm going to keep this for the entirety of my Destiny career and never use anything else. If it changed, I'd go on to the next thing and just change it up.
Did you guys see what Dino said the other day about how you think they're gonna, or how he thinks they're gonna handle nerfing and patching and whatnot?
No, because
So it wasn't really a rant. He basically was saying that he believes people are gonna stick with what they know, auto rifles, stuff like that, and they're not gonna branch out until a little bit later on submachine guns and stuff like that. And then what they're going to do is they're going to see that as OP and nerf that. Do you think that Bungie is going to stick to that same model that they kind of did with D1, where, just a shit ton of people are using one weapon, and so they're going to nerf it so that people use something else? Or do you think everything is going to be well balanced enough that they won't have to?
Nothing will ever be balanced enough to where people aren't going to gravitate to what's perceived as the best option. That's always going to happen.
Especially at launch. They already stated, listen, there's going to be a little bit imbalance with weapons. We know this. I think his statement, though, comes from the place of D1 where it was sweeping nerfs and buffs.
So how do you think they're going to handle it with D2 then?
D2, they have the ability. They're going to be able to nerf and buff independent weapons. So if they see something that the time to kill is a little too quick for what they want for the archetype, I think they'll hit just that gun. So then it won't like, where I'm trying to think, pulse rifles, where you had one pulse rifle was just OP. The Iron Banner one. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but and then it killed some of the other good ones when they nerfed that archetype.
Right.
With D2, they're going to be able to just hit that one gun, and then the other pulse rifles aren't going to fall down into a hole and never be seen again.
Well, I hope they keep the same philosophy. If everybody's using the same gun, do something, get rid of it. Playing the next 3 years with everybody using the Suros regime is going to be boring as hell. I like having it mixed up. They mentioned like having a season for different weapons. I'm okay with that. They broke me being attached to anything in Destiny. So if that was their intent, mission accomplished. But
with D1, I think that was just an attempt to try and get people to be okay with the fact that the way the game was built, they couldn't balance it perfectly as they wanted, so they just called it seasons. With D2, granted, we'll see how it comes out and if their plan is implemented well. But I believe with the model they're going with, I think they'll be able to have a little more balance across the entire game with weapons.
Sure.
They have a better chance of it, at least. You make everything independent and be able to balance them independently. You theoretically, numbers-wise, have a better chance of making it even across the board. So,
and I think that that's definitely a good idea. I do agree that having everything be only have the ability to manipulate it, uh, based off of the entire archetype was not a good thing. Um, it broke a lot of things. Like I remember, like what you were saying with the Iron Banner pulse rifle. Uh, that everybody started farming that, and they were looking for that god roll, and more people got the god roll, and everybody else just kind of got the short end of the stick. So and it obviously switched from time to time because you had the doctrine of passing was a huge OP weapon for the longest time, and
Hell, I still used it even after they nerfed it. It was
oh
still
yeah,
good.
it's but I do agree, but I also agree with the fact that I think it'll be good that they have the ability to individually manipulate the stats for each weapon.
Sure. And another thing to keep in mind is each weapon now will have fixed rolls. So you're not going to have farming for the perfect roll.
Right.
What you're going to get into is farming for that desired mod. Now, they haven't come out and said it, but the mods everyone believes so far is kind of a division style. So stocks, sites, things like that.
Which I'm pretty okay with. I think that's
I'm
not a bad way to go.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100% in support of that. I
want to be a glass
it was
cannon.
exciting getting the perfect roll to drop, but then it more often than not it was just infuriating. Like, oh god, another crap gun. Delete that too. I don't know. I think it's set up for positive results.
Right, and plus we got to see how it all fits in with the whole new weapon class type too, the power weapon and the kinetic weapon
and energy. Yep.
Right.
There's gonna be some strategy in that too. I mean, are you gonna want to run a scout and a SMG, or a hand cannon, auto rifle? Like, man.
I'm also curious to see with that whole locked loadout if they do anything with PvP. Locked loadouts, because it'll be like, I'm gonna go into this match, and all I'm gonna have is this SMG and this sniper, while everybody else is running shotguns.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of those strategy things. I think that'll definitely happen in competitive and trials. Quick play, I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that gives me the hope that they'll have custom matches where you can specify what weapons you want used.
I do believe that will happen, in my opinion. I think this will follow a Halo style, because they've kind of gone to the Halo style of weapons, right? You got 2 weapons, and then a power weapon. And Halo, the power weapons were out in the field, so you had to run and go get it. Now you don't have to, but still, same basic concept. They moved away from the special. The special idea didn't work. No matter how they screwed with the ammo economy. So I think with that, and then the fact 4v4, all that, I think they're moving. I don't know. I think they're really trying hard to go with a Halo style. Yeah, Halo has the bigger maps. Maybe that'll come in time. The other thing being, with Halo's PvP and the custom matches, you could almost decide anything on that, right? Like, you could do locked loadouts for everyone of only these weapons could happen. Granted, I think they're not going to be able to be that specific with us having so many weapons. But I bet you we'll be able to do, like, no exotics. Stuff like that, which will set up MLG stuff. So I think they have a plan, and it's slowly coming together, and they just haven't said it yet. My brain kind of went off in its own way there in the middle of that conversation. But, no, okay, back to the Dawn Blade. You guys watched it. Did you see him pulling himself up with jumps? Is anyone else a little excited about that? Just me?
I think it's just you. I mean, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't look into it that deeply to see some of the.
Maybe it's just the Warlock main in me that far too often when the D1 floofy jump, you hit the ledge, you're like, no, I'm falling. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I've been there. So that's okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, that is exciting. There's nothing worse than the jumping puzzle to where you just almost made it.
Right, your hip hits the ledge, and you're like, come on!
Your toe clips it, and you fall short.
Oh, yeah. Even, not related, but worse than that is when you hit the ledge and you just bounce straight off of it.
Yep.
Like, crap. Gotta try again. And, let's see, I guess the super, is self-explanatory. It's like the Hammer Titan, but better. So moving on, we'll go with Voidwalker. Corey, you said you main. Well, I don't know if you said main. You use Voidwalker a lot.
Yeah, I was mostly Voidwalker for Warlock, but I would say if I mained anything, it was probably a Hunter. With the Shade Step, that kind of fit my style of play, but I digress on that point. In terms of the Warlock, I'm pretty excited about what I'm seeing in terms of the Voidwalker. Like, I don't know. I was never a fan of Blink, and it looks like that's a thing.
It's still there. It looks really weird to me for some. Like, they changed it, and it just, I don't like it.
Yeah, I've never liked Blink. I used it in trials when I would do Blade Dancer on occasion, but other than that, I mean, it's such a okay, yeah, you can't see them, but it's so wild, and unless you're super focused with and use Blink all the time, you're going to miss your jumps and you're going to die or fall off the edge or miss the ledge and have to back up and redo it. And I would rather just do a regular normal jump and just be really fast with that.
Right. You had to really practice with Blink to get useful with it. Yeah, and super vanilla Blink was OP as hell with shotgun. It was ridiculous. But once they kind of started messing with it, I didn't feel like it was that much of an advantage anywhere, And you lose your HUD, so everything any information kind of disappears for a little bit, which even a couple seconds can make a difference,
Right.
I'm not a fan of it.
No.
Yeah, it's there, but I'll just use the regular jump, I think, as well.
Yeah. But I'm curious to see to actually be able to sink my teeth into the Nova Bomb, because it from all the gameplay I've seen, it looks like they're changing it to be crazy in terms of how it operates.
Crazy power.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is, it looks like all the supers are getting crazy buffs. Like, when you look at Striker Titan, the fact that it's no longer just a single strike, that you can run around and pretty much run and one-shot people, or have, I'm going to guess 5 to 6 strikes before your super runs out.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if you noticed in any of the gameplay stuff. We would get into this in the Striker and Sentinel double video there, but Titans in general pretty much had Hammer Titan stuff thrown throughout their supers. Like, Strikers can, I guess, shoulder charge with lightning, during their super,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what
as
it
well
looks
as
like.
Smash. Yeah, and Sentinel can, you know, smack you with the shield as well as throw it.
Which looks awesome.
Right. Oh yeah, it does. I will not hate on that. That class looks amazing.
I'm gonna die by Captain America.
Right. I think it's gonna be really funny to see all these people jumping on Sentinel slash Defender Titan, but then you got the OGs like Sheik, Destiny Fun Police, or Ninja with no L, though he was a striker most of the time. But I think those guys are just gonna tear people apart with those Titans.
Oh yeah. There'll be those people that mained and will always main Titans that just know how to control a match so much so that it's not even fair.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed the scatter grenade got changed a little bit. I believe that's the scatter grenade that I saw. It kind of looked like a more of a like a carpet bomb type idea. Like it just exploded and then had clusters off the side. Not like the old way was just kind of popped in different directions, kind of randomish. This one seemed to just be more of a big, huge area. As you said, the Nova Bomb is ridiculous. The thing was huge.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was tracking or if the Warlock actually controlled it. Because for a second it looked like with the way his aim went, it like hopped over the wall.
Kind of, yeah.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. If it auto tracks and it hops over walls, game over, man. Like, I don't know if you're gonna have as often with people whiffing and hitting like the roof of a room.
I hate that
and
so
screwing
much.
up their Nova Bomb. Or if it's tracking, you just throw it out there in the middle and watch it take a hard right. Just decimate a couple people. I have to agree. I'm really interested in Voidwalker and see how ridiculous that gets.
It'll be interesting for sure. I really I'm just excited for next week.
Yeah.
You know, come home Tuesday, play. You know,
Wednesday morning and Wednesday night and Thursday night.
Really get into the beta.
Yeah, as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to start downloading it because preloads went live today.
Yeah, I'm going to put the preload on. Well, I guess we talked about Voidwalker, we talked about Dawnblade. There was no PvP gameplay of Hunter stuff yet. I imagine that's just coming out. But there was the Striker and Sentinel Titan video. They had them independent, and then they had like a 10-minute double, which I just watched the double. I didn't watch the independent ones. I don't know if they were different.
I didn't get a chance to watch either of them, so.
Well, the Titan still seems fast. I'll say that much. Shoulder charge looks like it can be used a little bit for movement now. A little more so, I guess. But the we connect with something, the melee charge goes away, so then you lose it for minute 20 seconds, minute 30 seconds. It looks like.
Sure.
What I thought was interesting, the lightning grenade now acts more like a trip mine. So they threw it, it hit the wall, and you saw like you know how the trip mine had with the laser would come out, like it sensed someone, and then boom, out comes the lightning. And it wasn't such a big cone and everything, so it doesn't look like it's going to be as ridiculous as it was in D1, where it was just wiping out a room no matter where you stood. So that's a little bit different, and I think for the positive. Like we said, or like I said before, it looks like Hammer Titan just got thrown all over supers in this game right now, because the Titan Smash can do like shoulder charge with lightning. You got Sentinel Titan can smack you with the shield. Uh, Dawnblade has the I can't remember the name of it. Well, the in-air juke.
Yeah,
What
like
was the name of
Twilight
that?
Garrison.
Twilight Garrison has Twilight Garrison built into the class. I'm not sure if Voidwalker does. If Voidwalker has that too, I'm done. No more. Always Warlock. I mean, do a shimmy in the air and the Nova Bomb. Come on. See, with the Titan walls, you can see the damage start to form on them. So you get a visual indication of when to get the hell out. Instead of it just disappearing all of a sudden like you do with the bubble. And
So it's kind of like
I
Reinhardt
believe
in
someone said that.
Overwatch.
Right, yeah. I believe I heard someone say that the Sentinel Titan can do the bubble, which I've been hearing, and you see the damage on that as well. So you don't have to guess when it's gonna disappear.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, a good addition. Let's see. Talked about the Sentinel. Yeah. I guess not really Titan related, but there's no more kills and assists, right? It's now just defeated.
Interesting.
Again, a la Overwatch. So I don't know if they're gonna break that down in the end of the game like they did with D1, where it'd break down your kills, assists, deaths, all that. I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, that'll probably upset some people, I'm sure.
The assist
Yeah,
masters.
people-
There's always something to piss someone off.
Yeah, people like their KDs.
Right, yeah.
KD.
It's still gonna matter. I mean, it's still gonna have, even if it's just like Overwatch style, it's just gonna be how many defeats you have a game. You can still have people who are gonna have 7. And you're still gonna have people who are gonna have like 20. I mean, it's not gonna change how good you are, just the way it's displayed.
Yeah, overall, I think they're striving to make a lot of improvements, and I think at this point they're doing it the right way, where they're like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Hey, look, this is the new class. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. So then when you do immerse yourself in this gameplay, it's going to be just amazing, and really you can take it all in and not nitpick, oh, this is different, oh, this is different. Well, I already know this is different,
Yeah.
so now I'm just going to adapt to how it is instead of whining and complaining about it.
Yeah, I think with these teasers that they're doing, it seems like they're doing just enough to not give away a lot, but to prepare people for the differences that are going to happen.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
For the OG people, which I think is good, because too much shock on change, enrages gamers. They want their games different but the same. So, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot more coming out. They seem to, as far as I saw, they have videos coming out through this, almost through launch. So, we'll have a lot more coming out, a lot more information. We'll be talking about Destiny news for a while.
Oh yeah, probably
Especially
until
after
launch.
the beta. Especially after the beta. Okay, I guess if you guys don't have anything else, call them tonight. I don't know if you got anything else, Corey?
No, that's pretty much it for me. I think
Yeah.
There's a lot of exciting things coming, and with the beta coming up, it's gonna be a good time.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you like what you hear, you want to find us other places, you can catch up with the group in general at ilresto.net, which has links to our Twitch and Discord group, along with a place to sign up for the Destiny Raid Sherpa offering, which we're going to have to change that. Maybe just what we're going to do in D2 with the assisted games or whatever it was called again. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you, people. You can email us also at dayofresto@gmail.com, folks. Catch us on Twitter at dayofresto or at il_resto. Please rate and leave a review if you listen on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. Gets us higher up the suggestion list. You can reach me at the_signal42 everywhere. Extra? You can get Corey at Captain Break and Win on Xbox. Fool's Corner on Twitch with the best avatar or
Display picture.
emote or whatever you want to. I don't even know what that picture in the corner on Twitch. Trojan Guy 2K is at Trojan Guy 2K on Twitter, and Jeff the OG is Trojan Guy TV on Twitch. Stan, of course, is at Mask of Skin on anything connected to the internet. And I believe he probably still has AOL chat, so I would hit him up on that. Aston DB5, of course, is everywhere in the internet. He's always watching.
Big brother.
Thanks for listening. Yeah. Thanks for listening, folks. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.